This is where I try to finish things up. I think I can finish with pressure. Okay, so I think a small tip is also going to work well. If I remember correctly, I was having some good luck with a sharp tip off camera with the big blue blade. Yeah. Although this glass is slightly different than that blue glass on the big blue blade, I think I'm going to try this. Yep. It doesn't need to get thinner than that. I do need to get that step fracture out of there. So there's a spot that I could thin out. I should try that first. And this is also where a domed pad comes in handy because I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on this. No, that didn't work. Let's see. That was a good flake, but it wasn't close enough to the step fracture. Did that work? Almost. Almost. It's still crunchy right there. I know that's not where the obstacle is, but I just want to get this out of the way. Thin out the tip a little bit. It is slipping quite a bit. All right. What do I need to do? The glass is fogging up. Starting to get cold in here. Yeah, I'll work on another area first. Get used to the pressure flaker. Okay. Can I power through that? I might be able to. It might be better with indirect percussion, though. In fact, I know it'll be better because the pressure flakes that I'm getting are not big enough. Although the sharp tip is working well, I'm not going to take a chance on trying to blow away that step fracture with the size of flakes that I'm getting so far. I might just need to grind the edge a little bit more, but I don't like grinding the edge a whole lot. I don't like a lot of grinding on there, and I don't like grinding, period. All right, so let's see. I might be able to blast away most of it. That flake was right here from that little spot, but it didn't fan out. It just kind of went in without fanning out. But there's kind of a ridge here. I can hit that, maybe blast away some of it. It might be enough of a step fracture for me to push on. If push comes to shove, so to speak. Yeah, it catches right there. But let me try to blast it away. Let's see. That was a big hit. Did it blast it? A little bit of it. I might be able to get it with this next strike. Get it? I think I got it. Yeah. I'm left with little step fractures at the other end, which are not too bad. Let's work our way down to those. Okay. Why do I work my way down? Because I'm getting used to the flaking first. I like to take a few flakes in an area that's not important so I can get used to it. Although I've already been napping on this for a while, it's still always good to get a few strokes in or strikes in before actually doing the critical one. Yeah. So now I'm just thinning. Looking for thick spots. Am I afraid of breaking it when I do this? Sometimes, yeah. Oops. Sometimes I do this and I go, wait a second, I shouldn't be doing that too much. Okay, I think I can do the rest with pressure because if I hit too hard when it's this thin, you know what happens. I can hit pretty hard on the chunky spots. There's a chunky spot right here. Where was this? There was a step fracture earlier. Yeah, right here. I can probably get that out. Okay. Let's see if it did it. I got a feeling it did it. Yep. The good thing about glass is it's consistent. It doesn't have like layers in it or inconsistencies that make it nap well in one area, but then in another, it's all wonky or all weird. If it gets wonky, that's on me. It's not the stone. Do I need to thin it anymore? Yeah, it was pretty much thinned down already, but it looks a little bit too fat right here. If I want to make it consistent, I need to take a flake or two out of there. Yeah. Or, yeah, consistently thin. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Come on. It's just a little bit left on that step fracture right there. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. What shape will it be? I don't know. Let's just see how wide we can keep it, and then once we have it shaped, I can decide what I'm going to do for notching. Someone wanted me to make a Christmas tree out of green glass. I said, okay, but it's not going to be this one. It's too small for me to easily make a little Christmas tree. Yeah, if it's too small, then the branches look more like serrations. So I need a little bit of I need more room to make the branches of the Christmas tree. I have another video where I make a Christmas tree, right? Or I remember having one available in the auction one time. So I must have done it on video. Or I have been known to nap these special things off camera so I don't mess them up. So maybe that's what I did. I don't know. I don't remember. So what I'm doing right now is regularizing before sharpening. I'm just making the edge straight. Straight both in terms of this straight and in this straight. Yeah. This and this. And if you're not watching, you didn't know what this and this meant. Yeah. The straight edge in 2 dimensions. It looks straight if you look at it from the face of the point, and it looks straight if you turn the point to the side. Side view and front view. Straight edges. And then we think about sharpening and doing the final thinning wherever it might need it. You can pretend it's a Christmas tree. Yeah. They don't need no stinking branches. I took a nap. Now I feel tired. Yeah, that's what I get for taking a nap middle of the day, although I didn't get much sleep last night. I needed it. And yeah, one of the signs that you actually needed the nap is if it doesn't make you feel better. That means you still have some more sleep to make up. Oh, that's not a good sign. Already taking a bite out of the edge. The sharp point is supposed to help alleviate that or help prevent that from happening because it doesn't apply that much bending stress when you have a sharp, small point on the end of your flaker. And so much for that idea. It could be a hunting point. Yeah. You can make hunting points out of your beer bottles and wine bottles and sparkling water bottles and whatever bottle this was. Better not have been a Jägermeister bottle because I don't like that stuff. Right? It comes in green bottles? I don't even know. I don't remember. Okay, slippery. Slippity doodah. Okay. Am I sharpening it yet? Kinda, sort of. If it looks good already, just making it all nice and even. If it looks sharp enough already, I'll just skip the final pass. and leave it. Come on. Did it do it? It tapered. Did I taper the tip? I think I did it. Am I overdoing it now? Very possible. Yeah, I did a bunch of glass many years ago. I really wanted to learn how to do glass because it was the most common thing, easiest thing for me to get a hold of. But as luck would have it, I got bored. Yeah. And it was good while it lasted anyway. It's so much less stressful when you don't have to worry about where you're going to get your material. Yeah, I'm taking bites out. Not supposed to. It's hard to judge how much pressure because it increases as you go down. Yeah. You don't keep the same pressure all the way down. On these thicker areas down here, or in the thicker areas anyway, it needs more pressure. And if you don't do it just right, you get little step fractures on the edge. So all I'm doing is just continuously making it more and more straight and regular. Yeah. And thinner and sharper on the edge. Yeah. Why do I keep dulling it over and over again? Well, when I see a spot that looks too thick, I want to thin it. It's all too thick here. Let's see. I should just bevel it. The bifacial sharpening is the hardest. But that's what I try to do every video. Almost every video, except the ones that I say I'm doing beveling. Maybe I should be default to doing just beveling. I gotta find a good spot on the pad. It's starting to get worn out, so I don't want to put it on a flat spot. It's gotta be domed. That's good enough. So it's good. That's straight enough. I know I could probably do a little bit better, but straight enough. One more pass, really careful, or very carefully, we'll get that sharp. Yeah. I'm doing the other side now. Hopefully removing the thick spots. Yeah. If I get a step fracture, that's like the enemy at this stage. Because then it remains thick if you can't get past the step fracture. But that's good enough. Now I just need to do a careful pass to get it, straight and sharp. Just downward flakes, I guess. Yeah. Wherever I see a dull spot, just pick it off. Wherever I see a crunchy spot, pick it off. Mainly downward pressure. That's what I call picking the edge until it's sharp. It's one of the easiest ways to do it, other than beveling. To make it easier, you can just go down the whole edge and get every spot. Just pick, even though you don't see a dull spot, you just pick the whole edge. That's the easiest. But I'm trying not to double pick, so to speak. Yeah, too many picks and it doesn't sharpen up well. All right. Good enough, right? Right. Yes, yes. Now what? Corner notch. Yeah, corner notch. Or border notch. It won't be exactly on the base or exactly in the corner. It'll be mostly basal notched. Let me just straighten this out here. Okay. See, what I call border notches, I start at the base and notch it and keep that whole corner, but notch it just inside that corner so I have a long barb. Instead of knocking the barb off and then notching into the corner, I just start below, then down here on the base, and preserve that corner. Being very careful not to wipe out that barb. So easy to wipe these things out. I gotta remember, I don't need that much pressure to knap glass. This is glass. Go easy on the pressure. Just crunch it in. You know, that's all you need. Just crunch and crunch. That's it. Nothing fancy. I keep messing with this bar because it doesn't look sharp enough to me. Or skinny enough either. But I think it's okay now. I gotta make sure I don't get a burr on here that stops it from flaking well. Yeah, that's about the most I want to apply as far as pressure goes. Yeah, it gets a little scary. And I don't want to use a Nacho-matic on this stuff. Nacho-matic is usually what I use for, or I usually use it on really tough material. What's the Nacho-matic? Oh, you don't know? You have not been watching the channel. I'm so disappointed. I'll put a link to it in the comments. But yeah, I don't use it on delicate glass. I'm not good enough at using it to do that. Plus, I got to modify the tip of the Nacho-matic a little bit. Make it thinner and more delicate. So I can do this kind of notching with the Nacho-matic. Come on. There it goes. But this is so much easier just to crunch it in than to try to use a device to. I think it's easier just to crunch them in than to use some sort of notching aid or a vertical punch or whatever. The Nacho-matic is a spring-loaded punch. Yeah. Come on. Am I stalling it already? Yeah. All right, so that means I get a burr on the end here. Should be grabbing the edge. Yeah, see? If it rounds over and develops a burr, it doesn't grab the edge well enough to peel a flake off. And then you get stall. You get stalled. Yeah. I should be wearing a glove, yeah. I just keep blowing the glass away. hoping it won't fly back up into my face. I keep warning myself not to blow the flakes off, because it could come back into your face. But oh well. I don't feel like tapping it, because if I mistap, I'll have a mishap. Yeah. But tapping it works also. Like that. But if I mistap, I'll have a mishap. Yeah. So I'm just crunching, munching my way through. Still seems a little more difficult than it's supposed to be. There we go. Yeah, once I get in deep enough, I can push off a flake without having to worry about it extending too far. But that one was risky, because look how far the edge of that flake extended. All the way out to here. It could have easily taken off that barb with just a little more pressure. It's not a good thing. Okay. This side is thicker or something. And the other side didn't give me this much trouble. Maybe I just can't see. What's going on? What's going on down in there? Yeah. I stalled it for sure, but I can't get it to grip the edge. Is it lost? Is all is lost? No. All is not lost. All I gotta do is cheat. But you gotta be very careful, because you can get overconfident. There it is. If you get too overconfident with the cheats, they can blow up on you. Cause a blowout. Yeah. There. Symmetry. Symmetry at last. No? Almost. Symmetry at last. Symmetry at last. Thank goodness. Symmetry at last. Good enough. I don't want to overdo it. It's hard to see. Yeah. But see, when I do the notches there, I can preserve the entire length of the side, and I don't have to go in from the corner. I go in from the base. Still looks kind of like a corner notch. The barb is a little thick, but I think that is okay. Yeah. Many times on the real ones, they thin these down a lot. These barbs, but for the sake of safety, I kept them thick. Yep. And the edge is not perfect. It's just picked. You know, if I do fewer flakes and more carefully, it can get sharper than to do a lot of little pickings. But this is good enough. All right, so there you go. I hope that was okay for Mr. Mason. Yeah. It's kind of a nice color. I want to look for a darker green for a Christmas tree type point. Okay. Very good. I think it came out all right. Oh, wait a second. Can I get a better shot? No. Yeah. There you go. That's it.